I should point out the reason I have this slide about the trade show booth is this is actually how we got acquired by Google. We were at Search Engine Strategies in San Jose in 2004. And this guy walked up to the booth with this other guy whose age was very hard to pinpoint. Turns out the guy was 24 years old at the time. They walk up to the booth and they said, hey, we're from Google. We're kind of interested in what you guys are doing. Can you show us some of this stuff? And I happened to be working at the booth at the time. And so I said, sure, let me show you this stuff. I said, by the way, I know Google has a competing service called AdWords conversion tracking. You guys don't work on that, right? And, oh, no, we don't work on that. Well, it turns out this guy was the PM for that product. And the other guy was a corp dev guy, and they're like, no, we're just, kind of doing some business development. We're just interested in what you're doing. So I told them exactly what we were doing and gave them all kinds of secrets, which, had I known what they were really doing, I wouldn't have told them anything. But that wouldn't have worked out so well either. So what ended up happening is that we went to Google later that afternoon, right before what is called the Google Dance, which is this party that we host every year at Search Engine Strategies, which I had attended a couple years before and was trying to tell people, hey, you guys should acquire us. And everyone's like, yeah, whatever. And then it turns out this guy came along, Wesley Chan, and he actually had the vision and the foresight that, hey, Google should be in the web analytics business. So we went to Google for this meeting. I was so, I had been presenting in meetings for several years. We've been doing this for, up at this point, up until about 8 or 9 years, been doing this type of thing. I got in that meeting, I couldn't say a word. I was just so nervous because of the possibility of what this could turn into. And this for us was like, grand slam home run. We had family investment in the company. We had almost done a full VC round, which we ended up just doing angel and kind of friends and family rounds. And the company for a while was teetering on bankruptcy. At the time of this deal, the acquisition coming along, we had $1 million banked, and no one does that anymore. But within like 2 years, 2 or 3 years, we'd completely turned the company around. And we had, within like 3 days, we were covering, the 3 days into every month, we were covering the bottom line of the business. It was a very profitable business. So we were like, thrilled about it, but at the same time, we were running the business fairly conservatively. I would also suggest maybe on hindsight, probably not be that conservative with your capital. But, it's easy to say now. We're in like another very, fairly optimistic time, at least in the Valley. And, it seemed very wise at the time. And we'd been through it. We'd seen a lot of companies go under, and we didn't want to suffer that same fate. And if you've ever done layoffs, which no one even knows what that is, although I probably shouldn't mention that one. But anyway, so some people do now. But we didn't want to have to do that again. You never want to go through laying people off. Probably worse laying people off than being laid off. So try and avoid that one. But, so the deal was finally getting done. This was August 2004. We thought, oh, sure, by Christmas time, this deal will be inked. This deal dragged out, just like our old hosting deals, until April of 2005. Meanwhile, I was getting married April 16th, right? And so, part of the deal was we weren't allowed to tell anyone. Part of the deal with Google was, if the deal gets out that we're trying to acquire you, if people know about it, we're going to walk. About 10 days before the deal was inked, or supposed to be inked, John Battelle calls me on my cell phone and sends me an email. I happened to be in the shower, fortunately. And so I was listening to the voicemail and checking my email before I was going to work. And at the same time, hearing and seeing, hey, we understand you're getting acquired by Google. I'm going to write about it today, wondering if you want to comment. So I was like, this is not good. So I called up some people at Google that we've been working with, and I said, the deal's it's going to leak, so it's kind of do or die time. They circled up. Several people said it's die time. Don't do the deal. Fortunately, guys like Wesley prevailed and got the deal done. And the deal actually closed on April 20th of 2005. April 16th is when I told you I'd get back to this. I was getting married. And so that's why I was at my wedding 4 days before inking the thing. The interesting thing about it, though, is that 4 days before that was the first time we could tell anyone, by the way, we're getting acquired by Google. It's going to be a fun wedding. I'm going on my honeymoon, and as soon as I get back, I'm out of here, moving to San Francisco. Oh, by the way, so is the entire company. So that was a surprise to many people.